Experiential opening. You walk through your days surrounded by reminders of value. The gleaming watch on someone's wrist catches the light. The pristine car parked in the driveway speaks of achievement. The designer clothes, the expensive gadgets, the carefully curated homes, everywhere you look, the world whispers about worth measured in material terms. And somewhere, in the quiet spaces of your heart, a question stirs. What about me? What is my value? Perhaps you've stood in front of a mirror and wondered if you measure up. Perhaps you've scrolled through social media and felt that familiar ache of comparison. Perhaps you've looked at your bank account, your job title, your relationship status, and felt the weight of external measurements pressing down on your spirit like stones on water. But what if I told you that while you've been searching for your worth in all these external places, you've been carrying within you a treasure so magnificent that it would make the crown jewels look like costume jewelry? What if the very thing you've been seeking has been pulsing with light inside your chest all along? Take a moment now. Place your hand on your heart. Feel that steady rhythm, not just of blood and muscle, but of something far more profound. Something that has been with you since your first breath and will remain long after your last. Something that no economy can price, no critic can diminish, no circumstance can truly touch. Spiritual exploration. Your soul, your alma, is not merely valuable. It is value itself distilled into conscious form. Think about this. What makes a diamond precious? Is it not the perfect arrangement of carbon atoms under tremendous pressure over millions of years? Your soul has been forming under the pressure of countless experiences, lifetimes of learning, eons of evolution. Every joy you've felt, every tear you've shed, every moment of courage or compassion has been cut and polished into the faceted brilliance that you are. In the great cosmic vision, the cosmovision, you are not a small, insignificant speck floating in an indifferent universe. You are a unique expression of the divine creative force, a one-of-a-kind masterpiece that will never be repeated. The same intelligence that spins galaxies into existence and orchestrates the dance of atoms' lives and breathes through you. Consider the luminosity within you, not just metaphorically, but literally. Science tells us that every cell in your body emits light, a biological glow that speaks to the electromagnetic miracle of your existence. But this is only the faintest echo of your spiritual radiance. Your consciousness itself is light, awareness illuminating the darkness of the unknown, love melting the ice of separation, wisdom transforming ignorance into understanding. When you truly grasp this, when you really allow yourself to feel the magnificent reality of what you are, something shifts. The desperate search for external validation begins to feel like someone looking for the sun while standing in broad daylight. Practical integration. So how do you begin to live from this recognition? How do you shift from seeking your worth to knowing your worth? Start each morning with a different question. Instead of asking, "What do I need to do today to prove my value?" ask, "How can I express my inherent magnificence today?" Feel the difference in your body as you ask this. Notice how the first question creates tension, while the second creates expansion. When you find yourself in conversation, practice listening not just to words, but to the soul speaking through another person. See if you can perceive their hidden light, their disguised divinity. Watch how this changes the quality of your interactions. When you recognize the treasure in others, they begin to recognize the treasure in you. In moments of self-doubt or comparison, place your hand on your heart again. Breathe deeply and remind yourself, "I am not seeking my value, I am expressing it." Feel how this statement lands differently than "I am valuable." One is a performance, the other is a revelation. Transformational insight. Here's what changes everything. Your value is not something you have, it's something you are. You cannot earn it, lose it, increase it or diminish it. You can only recognize it or overlook it, express it or hide it, celebrate it or deny it. This recognition is the beginning of true spiritual maturity. When you stop trying to become valuable and start expressing your inherent worth, you free yourself to contribute your unique gifts to the world. You stop competing and start creating. You stop grasping and start giving. You stop hiding and start shining. And in this shining, you give permission for others to discover their own light. Your recognition of your own alma valorosa becomes a beacon that helps others find their way home to their own infinite worth. Experiential opening. Think of a time when you felt truly seen, not just looked at, but seen. Perhaps it was a moment when someone listened to your dreams without judgment, or when a friend saw through your mask to the tender truth beneath. In that moment, something inside you relaxed, didn't it? Something that had been holding itself small suddenly remembered how to be large. Now think of the opposite experience, a time when you felt invisible, misunderstood, or reduced to your worst moment. Notice how your body responds, even to the memory. The shrinking sensation, the protective postures, the way light seems to dim around the edges of your awareness. These experiences point to something profound. You instinctively know that you are more than what appears on the surface. You know that your true essence transcends your temporary moods, your current circumstances, your past mistakes. There's a part of you that remains untouched by the storms of life, a stillness within the motion, a light that no darkness can extinguish. But here's what's fascinating. We often work harder to hide our light than to shine it. We dim ourselves to make others comfortable. We minimize our gifts to avoid standing out. We tell ourselves we're being humble when we're actually being afraid. We've become experts at making ourselves small, forgetting that we were born to be luminous. What are you afraid would happen if you let your full light shine? What story do you tell yourself about why you must remain hidden? Spiritual exploration, your luminosity, your natural radiance, is not arrogance or ego. It's the light of consciousness recognizing itself. It's the divine spark within you celebrating its own existence. This light has been seeking expression through you since the moment you drew your first breath, and it will continue to seek expression long after this physical form has returned to dust. In the mystical traditions, they speak of the light that illuminates even the darkest night, o bru mais obscuro. This isn't just poetic language. It's a description of spiritual reality, your consciousness, your awareness, your capacity for love and wisdom. These are forms of light that can penetrate any darkness, transform any situation, heal any wound. Think about the people who have most influenced your life. Was it their achievements that moved you, or was it their light? The teacher who believed in you, the friend who loved you through your difficult seasons, the stranger who offered kindness when you needed it most. What you remember is their luminosity, their willingness to let their inner light touch your world. Your beauty, and here we speak not of physical appearance, but of the beauty of your essence, is incapable of aging, incapable of being damaged by life's experiences. Every challenge you've faced has only served to reveal more facets of this beauty, like pressure revealing the hidden rainbows in a prism. The pharaonic potential within you, this regal, magnificent possibility, is not about power over others. It's about the sovereignty of your own soul, the royal dignity of a being who knows their divine origin and eternal destiny. Practical integration is begin to notice how you speak about yourself. Do you lead with your struggles or your strengths? Do you introduce yourself through your problems or your possibilities? Not from a place of false positivity, but from genuine recognition of the light that lives through your experiences. Practice seeing your difficult emotions not as evidence of your brokenness, but as proof of your depth. Your capacity to feel sadness shows your capacity for love. Your ability to feel anger reveals your commitment to justice. Your experience of fear demonstrates your courage in facing the unknown. When you walk into a room, instead of wondering, "Do I belong here?" try asking, "How can my light serve this space?" When you meet someone new, instead of cataloging your inadequacies, silently acknowledge, "I greet the divine in you with the divine in me." Create moments in your day for what we might call luminosity maintenance. Spend time in natural light when possible. Look at yourself in the mirror with soft eyes and kind words. Stand tall and breathe deeply, imagining light filling your entire being with each inhalation. Transformational insight. Here's the secret that changes everything. Your light doesn't need permission to shine. It doesn't need approval, validation, or perfect circumstances. Light simply is. It doesn't struggle to illuminate. Illumination is its nature. When you try to hide your light, you don't make it disappear. You just create shadows. And those shadows become the places where your fears grow, where your doubts multiply, where your sense of unworthiness takes root. But the moment you stop fighting your own radiance, something miraculous happens. The very darkness you were afraid of begins to transform. Your light doesn't destroy the darkness. It reveals what was always there. More light, waiting to be discovered. You are not responsible for dimming yourself to make others comfortable. You are responsible for shining so brightly that others remember they too are made of light. Experiential opening. Imagine for a moment that you could excavate your own being the way archaeologists excavate ancient sites. Layer by layer, you brush away the dust of years, the sediment of experiences, the accumulated debris of shoulds and shouldn'ts, have-tos and can'ts. What would you find in the deepest layers of yourself? Perhaps you remember being a child and feeling absolutely certain about something. A dream, a knowing, a sense of your own magic. Before the world taught you to doubt, before you learned to question your own intuition, there was a time when you simply knew who you were. That child is still there, buried beneath years of adaptation and survival, still holding that original vision of your magnificence. Or maybe you recall a moment of profound beauty, watching a sunset, holding a newborn, experiencing art that moved your soul, when you felt yourself expand beyond your usual boundaries. In that moment, you touched something vast and eternal within yourself. That vastness hasn't gone anywhere. It's simply waiting beneath the surface of your ordinary awareness. You've spent years accumulating identities: student, professional, parent, partner, success, failure, introvert, extrovert. These are the artifacts of your surface self. But what lies beneath these temporary roles? What remains when all the labels are stripped away? Close your eyes and feel into that question. What is the irreducible you, the part that has remained constant through all your changes, all your growth, all your transformations? Spiritual exploration. This is the work of spiritual archaeology, digging through the layers of conditioning to rediscover the being that has been there all along. Your soul carries the memory of its own magnificence, even when your mind has forgotten. It remembers its divine origin, its eternal nature, its connection to the source of all existence. In Portuguese, we speak of the ser indescritível, the indescribable being that you are. Language fails before the vastness of your true nature. You cannot be captured in words, reduced to concepts, or fully understood by the thinking mind. You are a mystery wrapped in consciousness, a divine riddle expressing itself through human form. This indescribability is not a limitation. It's your greatest gift. It means you can never be fully categorized, completely predicted, or entirely contained. There will always be more to discover, new depths to explore, fresh expressions of your being to unfold. The incredible being that you are, ser incrível, is not incredible in the sense of unbelievable, but incredible in the sense of miraculous. You are a walking miracle, a conscious being capable of love, wisdom, creativity, and transformation. You are matter that has awakened to its own existence, stardust that can contemplate the stars. Your beauty, the beauty that illuminates even the deepest darkness, is not dependent on external validation. It radiates from the recognition of your own divine nature. This beauty has the power to transform not just your own life, but the lives of everyone you encounter. Practical integration. Begin your own archaeological expedition. Set aside time each week for what you might call essence excavation. This could be through meditation, journaling, walking in nature, or any practice that helps you connect with layers of yourself beneath your busy, thinking mind. Ask yourself questions that invite deep exploration. What did I love before I learned to judge my loves? What did I believe before I learned to doubt my beliefs? What did I dream before I learned to limit my dreams? Practice distinguishing between your authentic responses and your conditioned responses. When someone asks how you are, notice your automatic answer. Then pause and ask yourself, how am I really? What is my soul's honest response to this moment? Create a practice of appreciation archaeology. Each day, dig beneath surface gratitude to find the deeper appreciation. Instead of, I'm grateful for my coffee, try, I'm grateful for my capacity to receive warmth and comfort, for the miraculous way my body processes nourishment, for the chain of hands that brought this gift to me. Transformational insight. Here's what the archaeology reveals. You are not a human being having a spiritual experience. You are a spiritual being having a human experience. Your body is not your boundary, it's your instrument. Your personality is not your limitation. It's your unique way of expressing the infinite. Every layer you excavate reveals the same truth. At your core, you are love expressing itself through consciousness, consciousness expressing itself through form. You are the universe coming to know itself through the particular window of your awareness. This recognition doesn't diminish your humanity, it sanctifies it. Your struggles become sacred, your growth becomes worship, your very existence becomes a celebration of the divine creative force. When you know yourself as both human and divine, temporary and eternal, individual and infinite, you stop trying to fix yourself and start expressing yourself. You stop seeking wholeness and start celebrating the wholeness that has never been absent. Experiential opening. Listen for a moment to the symphony that is your life. Not just the obvious melodies, your words, your actions, your visible choices, but the subtle harmonies playing beneath the surface. The rhythm of your breathing, the percussion of your heartbeat, the gentle susurrus of your thoughts moving like wind through consciousness. Every day, you conduct an orchestra of possibilities. You choose which instruments to feature, which themes to develop, which crescendos to build toward. Sometimes you play softly, barely audible to the world around you. Sometimes you let loose with the full power of your being, filling the space with the magnificence of your authentic expression. But how often do you really listen to your own music? How often do you step back and hear the masterpiece that is constantly being composed through your existence? Think about the people whose music has touched your life most deeply. What was it about their way of being that resonated with you? Was it their volume, their technique, their perfection? Or was it something more subtle, their authenticity, their willingness to play their unique song regardless of whether the world was listening? You too have a song that has never been sung before and will never be sung again. Your particular combination of experiences, insights, challenges, and gifts creates a melody that belongs only to you. The question is, are you playing it? Spiritual exploration. In the grand cosmic symphony, you are both musician and instrument, composer and composition. Your consciousness is the conductor, choosing moment by moment which aspects of your infinite potential to express. Your soul is the musical score, written before time began, containing all the themes and variations of your spiritual journey. This is what it means to have pharaonic potential, not the power to rule over others, but the sovereignty to conduct your own life symphony with majesty and intention. You have the power to choose your tempo, select your key, decide when to play forte and when to rest in silence. Your admirable potential, your capacity to inspire awe and wonder, lies not in perfection, but in authenticity. When you play your true song, without apology or modification to please the crowd, something in the universe relaxes. The cosmic order sighs with satisfaction because you are fulfilling your unique purpose in the grand design. Every challenge you've faced has added new instruments to your orchestra. Grief has given you the ability to play profound, moving passages that touch the depths of human experience. Joy has provided the bright, soaring melodies that lift spirits and open hearts. Has taught you the dramatic tension that makes resolution so sweet. Love has become your dominant theme, the golden thread weaving through every movement of your life's composition. The beauty you carry, the kind that illuminates darkness, is like a perfect note that harmonizes with the music of existence itself. When you sound this note clearly, without distortion or hesitation, it creates a resonance that awakens the same frequency in others. Integration. Begin to notice the music of your daily life. What rhythm are you moving to? Are you rushing through your days in staccato bursts? Or are you flowing in smooth, connected phrases? Are you playing in a major key of appreciation and possibility, or a minor key of complaint and limitation? Practice conscious tempo changes. When you find yourself rushing, deliberately slow down and notice what emerges in the spaciousness. Catch yourself stuck in slowness, experiment with picking up the pace and see what energy becomes available. Create moments of intentional silence in your day. Every great symphony includes rests, not empty spaces, but pregnant pauses that give meaning to the notes around them. In your silence, listen for the deeper currents of your being, the quiet wisdom that emerges when the surface noise settles. Begin to play harmonies with others instead of competing for the solo. When someone shares their joy, add your appreciation to their melody. When someone is struggling, offer your support as a gentle accompaniment, not an overpowering replacement of their song. Transformational insight. Here's the profound realization. You don't need to be a perfect musician to contribute to the beauty of existence. The universe doesn't need your performance. It needs your participation, willingness to show up authentically, to play your part with presence and sincerity is already enough to shift the entire cosmic composition. When you embrace your role as both musician and music, you discover something extraordinary. The symphony doesn't exist without you. Your unique contribution isn't optional, it's essential. The universe has been waiting for your particular note, your specific rhythm, your irreplaceable harmony. This recognition transforms everything. Stop comparing your music to others and start marveling at how beautifully different songs can play simultaneously. You stop hiding your voice and start adding it boldly to the eternal chorus. You stop trying to play someone else's part and start mastering your own. The world needs your song, not a perfect version of it, not a modified version to fit current trends, but your authentic, imperfect, ever-evolving, utterly unique contribution to the symphony of existence. Experiential opening. Stand before a mirror, either physically or in your imagination, and look into your own eyes, not at them, but into them. Past the surface concerns about how you appear, beyond the quick inventory of flaws and features, into the deep wells of awareness that are looking back at you. What do you see there? Behind the fatigue, the worry lines, the accumulated marks of years lived, there's something eternal looking out at you that was present when you were 5 years old and will be present when you are 95. Something that remains unchanged despite all the changes your body and mind have undergone. This is the divine seeing itself through the particular windows of your awareness. This is consciousness recognizing consciousness. This is love meeting love in the most intimate encounter possible, the meeting of yourself with yourself. How long has it been since you truly looked at yourself with love? Not the conditional love that says, I'll accept you when you lose weight, make more money, find the right relationship, but the unconditional love that says, you are magnificent exactly as you are, exactly where you are, exactly as you're becoming. Most of us are more comfortable looking with love at a sunset, a child, a pet, even a stranger, than we are looking with love at ourselves. We've been trained to be our own harshest critics, our most demanding judges, our least forgiving friends. But what if this relationship, the one you have with yourself, is the foundation for every other relationship in your life? Spiritual exploration. In the mystical traditions, they speak of the divine as the one who sees through every pair of eyes, loves through every heart, creates through every imagination. It means that when you look at yourself with love, the universe is learning to love itself through you. When you recognize your own magnificence, creation is celebrating its own beauty through your awareness. Your alma valorosa, your treasured soul, is not separate from the divine source. It is the divine source expressing itself in the unique form that you are. Not carrying a spark of the divine, you are the divine sparking itself into existence through consciousness, through choice, through the miracle of your particular perspective. This is why your value is incalculable, not because of what you do, but because of what you are. You are the universe coming to know itself, love itself, express itself through the irreplaceable lens of your being. No substitute for your perspective, no replacement for your contribution, no duplicate of your unique expression of infinite possibility. When you look deeply into your own being, when you peer beneath the surface presentations and social personas, you discover what the sages have always known. The seeker and the sought are one. You have been looking for God, for love, for truth, for purpose, and all along, God, love, truth, and purpose have been looking through your eyes. The beauty that illuminates even the deepest darkness is not something you possess, it is something you are. You are beauty itself, taking form through consciousness, expressing itself through your unique way of being in the world. Practical integration. Develop a practice of sacred self-recognition. Each morning before you begin the day's activities, spend a few moments in conscious relationship with yourself. In the mirror and practice seeing yourself as the divine sees you, with infinite tenderness, boundless compassion, and complete acceptance. When you catch yourself in self-criticism, pause and ask, would I speak this way to the divine? Because that's exactly what you're doing when you speak harshly to yourself. You are the divine in temporary human form, and your self-talk is literally the universe's conversation with itself. Practice the art of self-appreciation, focusing on what needs to be fixed, changed, or improved. Spend time acknowledging what is already magnificent about your being. Your capacity for growth, your resilience through difficulties, your willingness to keep trying, your unique way of seeing the world. Begin to receive compliments as a recognition of the divine qualities expressing through you, rather than dismissing them or deflecting them. When one appreciates your kindness, they are recognizing the love that flows through you. When someone admires your wisdom, they are acknowledging the intelligence of the universe speaking through your awareness. Transformational insight. The moment you truly see yourself as the divine sees you, everything changes. Not because you become different, but because you finally recognize what has always been true. You are not a mistake, an accident, or a work in progress. You are a magnificent expression of consciousness, perfectly designed to contribute your unique gifts to the unfolding story of existence. This recognition liberates you from the exhausting work of trying to earn your worth and allows you to enjoy the effortless expression of your inherent magnificence. You stop performing for approval and start sharing from abundance. You stop hiding your light and start illuminating the world simply by being authentically yourself. Know yourself as both human and divine. You become a bridge between earth and heaven, bringing divine love into human form and lifting human experience into divine recognition. Your very existence becomes a blessing to the world. Experiential opening. Think of a stone dropped into still water. The impact creates ripples that expand outward in perfect circles, touching shores you cannot see from where you stand. Imagine that your life is that stone, and your recognition of your own magnificence is the moment of impact. Every person you encounter becomes part of the ever-expanding circles of influence radiating from your awakened consciousness. You've experienced this phenomenon from the receiving end. Someone walks into a room and the energy shifts. Their presence, not their words or actions, but their very being, lifts the atmosphere. Carry something that awakens something in everyone around them. What they carry is the light of self-recognition, the radiance of someone who knows their own worth and isn't afraid to let it shine. Conversely, you've also been in spaces where someone's unrecognized pain, their unacknowledged magnificence, their fear of their own power creates a heaviness that everyone feels. Their hidden light, pressed down by shame or fear, creates shadows that influence the entire environment. The responsibility and the gift of recognizing your alma valorosa. You become a beacon for others to find their way home to their own infinite worth. Your willingness to see and celebrate your own divine nature gives others permission to do the same. But here's what's beautiful about this responsibility. It requires no effort, no strategy, no technique. When you authentically recognize your own magnificence, the ripple effect happens naturally. It doesn't struggle to illuminate. Illumination is simply what light does. Spiritual exploration. In the cosmic vision, the cosmovision, we are all interconnected expressions of one infinite consciousness. Your awakening to your own divine nature is not a personal achievement. It's a contribution to the awakening of consciousness itself. When one part of the web of existence lights up, the illumination travels through the entire network. This is why your spiritual growth is never just about you. Healing heals the ancestral patterns that have been passed down through generations. Your courage to shine gives permission for those who come after you to do the same. Your recognition of your own worth begins to dissolve the collective programming of unworthiness that has kept humanity in shadows for far too long. Your pharaonic potential, your sovereign magnificence, includes the power to influence the spiritual evolution of those around you without saying a word about spirituality. Live from the recognition of your own divine nature. You become what the mystics call a presence, someone whose very being serves the highest good of all. The admirable quality you possess, your capacity to inspire awe and wonder, isn't meant to be hidden away like a secret treasure. It's meant to be expressed generously, not for the sake of showing off, but for the sake of awakening wonder in others. When people encounter your authentic magnificence, they remember their own. Beauty, the kind that illuminates even the deepest darkness, has the power to transform not just your own inner landscape, but the inner landscape of everyone whose life touches yours. This is not metaphor. This is energetic reality. Consciousness affects consciousness. Light awakens light. Love calls forth love. Practical integration. Begin to see yourself as a walking blessing, not in an arrogant way, but in recognition of the gift that your awakened presence offers to the world. Enter a room, silently set the intention to contribute light to the space. When you interact with others, hold the awareness that your recognition of your own divine nature is awakening their recognition of theirs. Practice generous expression of your gifts. Share your insights, your creativity, your love, your wisdom, not because you're trying to impress anyone, but because authentic expression of your magnificence serves the highest good of all. Dim your light to make others comfortable. You rob them of the opportunity to be inspired to discover their own radiance. develop the art of seeing and acknowledging the divine qualities in others. When you recognize someone's kindness, wisdom, creativity, or courage, you're not just giving them a compliment. You're awakening their awareness of their own divine nature. Your recognition becomes a mirror in which they can see their own light. Create ripples of appreciation. Focusing on what's wrong with the world, become someone who notices and celebrates what's magnificent. Your appreciation doesn't just make others feel good, it actually amplifies the qualities you appreciate, making them stronger and more available. Transformational insight. Here's the profound truth. You cannot recognize your own divine nature without simultaneously contributing to the spiritual evolution of humanity. Your personal awakening is never just personal, a gift to the collective consciousness, a light added to the grid of illumination that is gradually dissolving the darkness of separation and fear. When you fully embrace your alma valorosa, when you live from the recognition of your infinite worth, you become part of a global awakening. You join the ranks of those who have remembered their divine nature and are living as conscious expressions of love, wisdom, and creative possibility. Your true power. Not power over others, but power to inspire, to heal, to awaken, to transform. Your light doesn't diminish others, it illuminates them. Your magnificence doesn't threaten others, it invites them to discover their own. Your joy doesn't take anything away from anyone, it adds to the joy available in the world. You are not just discovering your worth, you are recovering it for all humanity. Your willingness to shine is a gift to the entire planet. Experiential opening. At the end of every seeking, at the completion of every spiritual journey, at the resolution of every quest for meaning and purpose, we arrive at the same destination: love. Not love as sentiment or emotion, but love as the fundamental force that created you, sustains you, and will welcome you home when this particular adventure is complete. You have traveled far in your lifetime, through experiences of joy and sorrow, success and failure, connection and separation, tried on countless identities, played numerous roles, learned innumerable lessons. But beneath every experience, weaving through every story, pulsing at the heart of every moment, love has been your constant companion. Love brought you into existence. Love is the intelligence that beats your heart, breathes your lungs, grows your cells, and dreams your dreams. Love is what you're made of, what you're surrounded by, and what you're returning to with every breath, every choice, every moment of awakened awareness. Your alma valorosa, your treasured soul, is love taking temporary form to experience itself through your unique perspective. Every time you recognize your own worth, you are love celebrating itself. Every time you extend compassion to another, you are love expressing its nature. Every time you create beauty, seek truth, or act with courage, you are love exploring its infinite possibilities. This is the final recognition, the ultimate homecoming. You are not seeking love, you are love, seeking to know itself more fully through the magnificent experiment of your existence. Spiritual exploration. In the deepest understanding of cosmovism, cosmic vision, everything that exists is love in various forms and expressions. The trees are love growing toward light. The ocean is love in fluid motion. The stars are love burning bright across vast distances. And you are love experiencing itself as a conscious, creative, evolving being. This is why your value is incalculable. You are the universe's way of loving itself consciously. Through your awareness, love becomes aware of itself. Through your choices, love exercises its creative power. Through your relationships, love experiences connection. Through your growth, love evolves and expands. Pharaonic potential, your magnificent sovereign nature, is love's royalty expressing itself through human form. You are not a subject in love's kingdom. You are love wearing the crown of consciousness, ruling the realm of your own heart with wisdom and compassion. The admirable quality that makes you capable of inspiring awe and wonder is simply love being so authentic, so present, so fully itself that it takes everyone's breath away, completely yourself. When you let love express itself through your unique way of being, you become a miracle that awakens wonder in everyone you encounter. Your beauty, the light that illuminates even the deepest darkness, is love's radiance shining through the transparent windows of your awareness. This light has the power to transform any situation, heal any wound, dissolve any barrier, because it is the fundamental creative force of existence itself. Full integration. Live each day as love's conscious expression. Instead of asking, "What should I do?" begin asking, "How does love want to express itself through me today?" Notice how this shifts your relationship to decisions, challenges, and opportunities. Practice loving yourself as love loves itself, unconditionally, completely, eternally. When you make mistakes, love yourself through them. When you succeed, love yourself in celebration. Struggling, love yourself with extra tenderness. You are love's precious creation, deserving of all the love you can give. Extend this same quality of love to others, recognizing them as love in different costumes, playing different roles in the cosmic drama. When someone is difficult to love, remember, this is love asking you to love more deeply, more unconditionally, more creatively. Create from love, speak from love, choose from love. Love be your motivation, your method, and your measure of success. When you act from love, you cannot make a wrong choice because you are aligned with the fundamental creative force of existence. Transformational insight. This is the ultimate recognition that transforms everything. You are not a separate being trying to find love, earn love, or become worthy of love. Love itself, temporarily expressing through human form, here to explore, create, heal, and awaken through the miracle of conscious existence. When this truth penetrates every cell of your being, every thought in your mind, every feeling in your heart, you discover that you have never been separate from what you were seeking. You have always been what you were looking for. Home has always been where you are standing. Alma Valorosa is not something you possess. It is something you are. You are the beloved of existence, the treasured expression of infinite creative love, the answer to the universe's longing to know and celebrate itself. And in this recognition, you find the peace that surpasses understanding, the joy that needs no reason, the love that knows no limits. You discover that your worth was never in question. It is woven into the very fabric of reality itself. Love recognizing itself as infinitely, eternally, magnificently valuable. Welcome home to yourself. As we reach the end of this reflection, you might notice something beautiful. There is no real ending, only a deeper beginning. Every recognition of your divine nature, every moment of seeing your own magnificence, every instant of knowing your infinite worth becomes the starting point for even greater recognition, deeper seeing, more complete knowing. Alma Valorosa is not a destination you arrive at, but a reality you continuously discover. Like the ocean, it reveals new depths each time you dive below the surface. Like the sky, it expands beyond every boundary you thought you had reached. Take this knowing with you into your ordinary days. Carry the recognition of your incalculable worth into your conversations, your work, your relationships, your quiet moments alone. Inform how you speak to yourself, how you treat your body, how you make decisions, how you move through the world. Remember, you are not trying to become valuable. You are learning to express the value that you already are. You are not seeking to find your light. You are practicing letting the light that you are shine without apology or reservation. In moments of doubt, return to the simple truth. You are a unique expression of the infinite, a one-of-a-kind masterpiece in the gallery of existence, a treasured soul carrying immeasurable worth. not because of what you've accomplished, but because of what you are. Not because of your perfection, but because of your authentic participation in the miracle of conscious existence. Your journey of recognition has no endpoint because you are infinite, recognizing itself through finite form. Day offers new opportunities to discover more of your own magnificence, to express more of your inherent beauty, to share more of your natural radiance. This is the gift you give to the world, not your performance, but your presence, not your perfection, but your authenticity, not your achievements, but your willingness to be fully, completely, magnificently yourself. The world is waiting for your light. Someday when you feel ready, not eventually when you've solved all your problems, not in the future when you've become who you think you should be. Right now, today, in this moment, exactly as you are, your alma valorosa, your treasured soul, is ready to shine. The only question that remains is, are you ready to let it? The cosmos holds its breath in anticipation of your yes. May you walk in the recognition of your infinite worth. May you shine with the light that has always been yours. May you live as the treasured soul you have always been. May your presence be a blessing to all existence. Amen. Namaste. And so it is.